Hello, it's Bishop Mark. Today is Luke chapter 24, verses 36 to 43, and it's a resurrection story. We hear about the appearance of Jesus in the upper room. Now, one of the things we're going to be talking about in this video is how is Luke describing the body of the resurrected Jesus? He's pretty much doing it by saying it's not this and not that, but we'll pay attention to that in this reading. Let's continue. While they were still speaking about this, he stood in their midst and said to them, "Peace be with you." So the first thing about what was the resurrected body of Jesus like, it could just pop in, just appear. There's no knocking on the door. Is it, "Can I come in?" Jesus is not confined to walls or time or anything else. So he appeared to them on the way to Emmaus, and then he's appearing now in the room, just coming in. So that's something you and I can't do. We can't just appear in a room. So the first thing that Jesus' resurrected body is not is, like us, confined to space and time and boundaries. Jesus just appeared. Now he appeared and said, "Peace be with you." So he can speak, of course, and he says, "Peace be with you," which is the greeting that one would expect, I suppose. The word for peace is shalom. Do you remember when he sent out the apostles and then he sent out the disciples with instructions? The first thing you do when you get to a house is you say, "Peace be with you." So Jesus appeared and said, "Peace be with you." Let's continue. But they were startled and terrified and thought that they were seeing a ghost. Okay. I think you and I would be startled too if Jesus just appeared in front of us. And especially after you just witnessed his death, and there he is. Now they would be terrified because, they'd be afraid too. They know that Jesus died. It wasn't as if Jesus kind of died or maybe died. No, Jesus was killed upon the cross and put in a tomb. There is no question of his death. And yet, here he was. That's startling, for sure. Now, they think it's a ghost. Now, the second thing maybe we can say about the body of Jesus is that it's not a ghost. What's a ghost? A ghost is a vision. A ghost doesn't have flesh. A ghost is only spirit. Jesus is more than spirit. Now, let's see how that continues. Then he said to them, "Why are you troubled? And why do questions arise in your hearts?" Now, Jesus, of course, did say he would rise from the dead. They just didn't get it. So, why do you have questions? Here I am. I'm right here. Your questions should be answered, not coming to your head. Okay. "Look at my hands and my feet. That is I myself. Touch me and see, because a ghost does not have flesh and bones, as you can see I have." So Jesus gives three things for the apostles to test him. The first is to look at me. I have flesh and bones. So now we know the resurrected body has flesh and bones, and Jesus says a ghost does not. A ghost is pure spirit, right? So first, look at me. Second, touch me. A ghost could not say a pure spirit like an angel. You can't touch the angel. Just come and touch me. In another gospel, he says, "Put your hands in my wounds." He says, "Touch me." This is the second experiment. Okay, there's a third one. As he said this, he showed them his hands and his feet. Now, in another gospel, he might be referring to his nail marks, right? But in Luke's gospel, at the crucifixion, it doesn't say he was nailed. We know he was nailed from many things, but in Luke's gospel, it doesn't say he's nailed. I mean, could have been tied up there. In Luke's gospel, it just doesn't say. Other gospels say. So I don't think Luke is saying, look at my nail marks. Instead, look at my hands and my feet. Look at me. Touch me. Shake my hand. And just proving that one of the things he's not is a ghost. Okay. As he said this, he showed him his hands and his feet. While they were still incredulous for joy and were amazed, he asked them, "Have you anything here to eat?" They gave him a piece of baked fish. He took it and ate it in front of them. Okay, the resurrected body can eat. A pure spirit, an angel, cannot eat. A vision cannot eat. So Jesus was resurrected. He also was not resuscitated. Okay, Lazarus was resuscitated. Jairus' daughter was resuscitated. The son of the widow of Nain was resuscitated. They were brought back from the dead, but they were still subject to death. Jesus is brought back it comes back from the dead, and he will no longer die. He has defeated death. So we call his body the glorified body. I mentioned in past videos about the Shroud of Turin, the wrapping that covered Jesus, that they put on quickly before he was to get into the tomb before the Sabbath, that wrapping. Well, again, I point out it as just this wonderful thing that I fully believe in. But on that, there are things that cannot be duplicated. Somehow, when Jesus was resurrected, there is evidence of a great intense light that did not burn the cloth, but made an impression on the cloth. And his body, the picture of his body is on the cloth. And it's compared to a photograph, a negative. So that is something, if that intrigues you at all, and you haven't really explored the Shroud of Turin, I urge you to explore the Shroud of Turin. Now, that shroud is not in this gospel, except for Peter saw it there. But something happened different than anything else. And now we see Jesus in a glorified body. That's what we call it. It's not a ghost. It's not a regular body. It's something that can just appear, so that he can still eat and drink, and you can touch him. And yet he can also just disappear. He's in heaven. He's beyond death. Hallelujah! Jesus is risen. We'll continue about this appearance next time.